Welcome to video number 15. What went wrong with the French Revolution? The French Revolution, 1789, inspired by the American Revolution, offers a perfect case study on the important role that underlying principles play in the shaping of a social and political structure. How the acceptance or rejection of a moral absolute and the acknowledgement of the existence of God-given rights affects political outcomes in the real world. The French Revolution occurred at the height of the Enlightenment era, the Age of Reason, a moment in history when the religious and political establishments were being questioned to their core. The human being became the measure of all things. But let's go back a couple of centuries to the Middle Ages, although in many ways a period of darkness in the European stage. The political structures, the nations, kingdoms, countries, in short, what was considered the state in the Middle Ages, enjoyed a certain equilibrium, a balance of power. This balance allowed a modest amount of freedom to the common man, or the subject. How is this possible? Well, the belief that it was God who gave the king his power made that power subordinate to the laws of God or his temporal representative, the church. At the end of the conflict between Protestants and Catholics, which we'd mentioned earlier in the mid-1600s, the modern notion of the nation-state was created. The power of the king ceased to be checked by the church. However, another power took its place, the aristocracy. With the influence of money and private armies, the nobles acted as a counterbalance to the state, represented by the figure of the king. This is the time of the Magna Carta, which is the cornerstone of British common law and by extension the whole Western civilization. This allowed freedom to survive. For most of the 17th and 18th centuries, the state and freedom coexisted in an uneasy balance in which both were limited. Then, at the end of the 18th century, the American and French revolutions happened. The balance was destroyed. This is the point in history where the battle between the state and the freedom of the individual, which is being fought to this day, started. Individual liberty won in the American Revolution. The state won in the French Revolution. The real battle is between the underlying and opposing sets of principles. Both were revolutions against absolute monarchy, but how is that one ended in the creation of a free nation state that developed into the most powerful and economically successful socio-political experiment in human history, and the other ended with Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte? The American Revolution placed the individual at the center. The French Revolution chose the state, the collective. That is the main difference. See you next time.